really taken with a delightful thought. I heard this story of cattle grids you have from the edge of moors and separates fields, and cows are prevented therefore from walking on roads or going to the next green bit. But I've forgotten exactly where it was, but
the sheep rolled over, didn't they?
You got it. Sheep had learned to roll over the cattle grids to get to the green
People say
pastures.
sheep are stupid.
So I called this the Sheepshank redemption. Time was when sun was searing, their sleepy snores brought smiles. But now the ship-shaped sheep in shearing can skip for 7 miles, no longer staring at you with their cautious, doughy eyes. No more woolly thinking. Ah, humbug, they got wise. It's shocking how they've shaken off that dipping, reeking pesticide, now wearing woolly coats with socks, their stomachs swaying side to side. Yes, sir, no, sir, 3-bar gate, sir, it's the sheepdog that they guide. They slalom down the hillside, they swerve with one accord, they somersault the cattle grid, the pen's less mighty than this horde. Where once they'd slowly saunter, seething flocks are on the rise, stamping, snorting, scaling styles, chop stewards would advise. You would not believe, Sean, what those shepherds put in pies.
So where did they?
So you say actually, but it was true. They actually rolled over to get to the other
It
side.
might have been in Wales.
I think it was.
I'm not sure.
I think it went.
Was it like a YouTube thing, not the sort of thing that went?
It was in the papers
Oh, was it
about
in the
4 years ago.
Oh, right, yeah.
And on the news.
And we, only Sue has touched on sea life, so I thought we should have
Yes.
a bit of that. One of life's pleasures I discovered very young was exploring rock pools at low tide.
Yes.
This is Rockpool life. The pouting periwinkles push against the flimsy fronds, those hardy clingers on the rock who to the sea belong. Straining proud like little pumping hearts, say, notice me, calling for a winkle mate who straddles land and sea. The hermit comes translucent from his forest margin shell, peaceful now, but battered from the storms of wintry hell. He's creeping gently, looking over from his sideways gate, and growing now in confidence to cross the pool or wait. The tentacled anemones fire deep red velvet blush, as jetting ink-cloud cuttlefish just vanish in a thrust. Do they envy travellers who come and go while they, with suckers quite sedately, always wave but choose to stay? It's the bladder-wrapped limpet catfish saga now. The spider crab and the land you grab what the mussels will allow. The sun has gone behind a black-winged gull, its beak of orange streaking down. One pull of the moon, and we'll be swimming in a different town. The rising tidal waters trickling now between the stones. They're mountains to the hermit, under peaks of sea bass bone. When he steps out unprotected to the female as the predators draw near, it's who dares wins and dodge the fins for crabs whose daddy knew no fear. The little fish and darting shrimp trapped in a pool some way above the tide, a giant shadow coming down, the minnows plucked and tossed inside, but soon the bucket kicked, the water gone. He breathes his final breath and flops beside a starfish on the sand. That's Rockpool life and death. One more. Okay.
It is fascinating, though, isn't it? The rock pools, the way it just comes alive, isn't it? Even just seaweed, it looks so pleasant, doesn't it? And then you get the water going, it's just waving.
I try to get sort of, it's like a feel of how creatures work. And even on Thursday, Lawrence was around my house, and I had this little high-pitched hum among the flowers, and I sort of rustled around, and I found this hoverfly that had got itself sort of caught up with a lot of spider's web. I managed to get hold of it. It took me about 5 minutes with a little open staple, and I managed to pull all the spider's web off, and it finally sort of, wow, I'm okay. And it's so satisfying.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Anyway, I hope you can all do something in your own gardens, if you've got a garden. Some people haven't. I work with Friends of the Earth, and I've got little pledge cards here, which you will take, or if you wish, you can take, which is just saying, I will do something for wildlife in my garden. It gives you a little bit of information. If you pledge, I'll give you some information so as you'll know how to do things in your garden. Little booklets. This was written in my garden, 2010. Traveller's Joy. On every tansy head a butterfly, the buzzing yellow ragwort grown so high, those giant golden marrow trumpets full of small black busy beetles, and the pretty speckled wood goes circling by. Before me leaps the ochre frog, disturbed. The bumbles gaily hang from willow herb. A brimstone lands on purple buddleia, uncurls its probing tongue, while antirrhinums pout in vain for hummingbird. The jays squawk at each other from the trees, the shells cracked by a thrush one rarely sees, but the pitch and rise and fall, and his impressions, best of all, leave purple mouths agape of rapt sweet peas. White hands outstretched, the daisies call the light. 3 shadows overhead of ducks in flight. In the cypress, in a hurry, wood pigeons flap and flurry, with no pretence of being erudite. Pale speckled foxglove beckons, come inside. White teasel offers, breaststroke, you decide. White butterflies dance spiral love, 12 swifts are shrilling high above. The traveller's joy, my wilderness, the guide.
That's lucky 12 swifts.
My
Counted 3.
partner lives in Hitchin, and she saw 20 last week. And she put a bird box up there, a swift box, under her eaves. And last year she got nothing, and now she's actually got a swift in it, so she's really delighted.
And once they come back every year,
Yeah,
don't they?
but they're only here for about 3 or 4 months.
But they always come back to the same nest box usually, don't
They
they?
do. They do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Pleasure.